Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, December 23rd, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, man out on bail for carnal knowledge killed in Corozal. Retail grocery stores wrong to charge GST for few cases of products. 14 people won government lotteries, won an $1 million raffle, and a suspected drug plane found burned in rural Toledo. We take our first break and return with the news in detail. Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. A man from Hattieville identified as 37-year-old Anthony Lewis was killed on Sunday at a residence on G Street in Corozal Town. Authorities have since detained 3 people, including a woman, in connection with his death. Police say Lewis did not have any lawful authority to be at the house and was acting aggressively when he showed up there. In 2023, Lewis had been charged with carnal knowledge in relation to the 15-year-old daughter of one of the persons at the house. He was out on bail. Reports are that Lewis was found with his feet bound and hands tied behind his back. He had been severely beaten and had several cuts and stab wounds to the body. ACP Gilberto Romero said the file will be forwarded to the DPP.
Here on Sunday, the 22nd day of December 2024, police responded to a disturbance at G Street in Corozal Town. Upon their arrival, they found the lifeless body of a male person identified as Anthony Lewis with injuries to the head. Investigation revealed that Lewis came to that house and he had a dispute with the family members there. There was a struggle which led to injuries being caused upon him. This matter is being investigated and the file will be sent to the DPP for directives.
So as of now, it's just a death investigation?
It is. Anthony Lewis had no lawful authority to be at that house. He was there and confronted the members there, and so the injuries were caused to him. Though he came to the house, so they defended themselves, and this is what happened.
Was he acting aggressive?
Yes, he was acting and attacked the family members at the house.
During the last GST-free weekend, which happened on December 21st and 22nd, retail grocery stores were charging GST on cases of products, citing that it was wholesale. We confirmed from the Belize Tax Service, BTS, that detail grocery stores are not to charge GST for products bought by the case. Another individual shared a similar situation where they bought 2 cases of soft drinks for Christmas and were charged GST as well. Many others have since shared similar experiences from around the country. The Belize Tax Service confirmed these stores would be placed on their list to visit. Today, however, Deputy Director General of the service, Vilma Broster, clarified that some stores are both retail and wholesale. She did say, though, that such businesses could differentiate from their customers who usually buy wholesale, and therefore it would have been fine to discount the GST from up to 2 cases of goods bought by other consumers.
What happens is that you have retail stores that operate as wholesale stores as well. And so they were of the view that if you came in to buy a case of Pampers or a sack of dog chow, that is considered wholesale. So we had to explain that that they know who their customers are. They would know who operate a business as opposed to a final consumer. So they can sell 1 to 2 cases to final consumers so that the consumers benefit from the exemption, because people definitely, you and me, would be buying in cases so that we can stock up. So that was what we had to put out there to some of the business places.
In the case of an individual who bought first 2 and then 3 cases of hot dog sausages meant for a children's Christmas party, Broster says the business should have been told the purpose. Broster says the second GST-free weekend was smoother than the first and they had less matters being reported. She noted that they have identified several businesses and they now intend audited. The tax service will provide a postmortem to the government. 14 people won the Belize government lottery's anniversary jackpot, 1 and a million. The winning numbers 3446 were drawn live at 10 a.m. on Saturday, December 21st inside the downtown plaza on Albert Street in Belize City. Managing Director of BGLL, Janelle Espat, told us the winners will remain anonymous. About 185,000 tickets were purchased at $5 each since the raffle was announced on November 5th.
Fund is 3446 and there are 14 winners. So each winner will take home $71,428.57 each. And we would like to remind everyone that the prizes can be redeemed at the BGLL office located in Belmopan during normal working hours. And we sold almost $1 million. We were short of about $70,000. So the sales were somewhere around $930,000. So we're happy that there was a winner on the first draw, and the winning number, like we announced earlier, is 3446, and there were 14 winning tickets purchased with the number 3446.
And I know that you follow the numbers closely, so would those sales compare to like one day's sales in terms of the other lotteries for the government?
It's similar to the ordinary lottery, but still a bit higher than what we usually experience with the ordinary lottery drawings.
And did you expect it to be around that figure? Did you expect it more or less?
We were hoping to sell in excess of $1 million. It was our intention that any profits that we made from the game would have been donated to charity. Unfortunately, we did not sell in excess of the $1 million, so we will not be able to make that donation. However, part of the intention we were still able to see through, and that was to ensure that the people of Belize benefited from this 1 in a million anniversary jackpot game. So we're still very happy for that.
Do you foresee that you will do this again? I know this was an anniversary jackpot.
Well, we've gotten a lot of people making that same inquiry. We hope so. We would like to be able to do something special every year, but we'll have to sit and discuss and see whether we'll do the same thing or do something different. But I'm sure that there will be something to give back every year.
All winnings are tax-free. The prizes can be redeemed at the BGLL office at number 11223 Hummingbird Highway in Belmopan during normal working hours. Tomorrow, the office will be open from 8 a.m. to midday. The office reopens after Christmas on Monday, December 30, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Tuesday, December 31st, from 8 a.m. to midday. Police are investigating a report of a suspected drug plane landing in the south on Sunday morning. They conducted an operation after receiving reports of a low-flying aircraft in the area of Dolores, Toledo. 3 miles from the village, they discovered the charred remains of an aircraft. At the site, they found fuel canisters and lights. ACP Gilberto Romero told the media that no cargo was found and no one has been detained.
Okay, on Sunday, the 22nd day of December 2024, police and BDF personnel conducted an operation in the Toledo district after a report was received of a low-flying aircraft. They made checks in the area of Dolores village, where 3 miles from the village, they discovered a burnt aircraft, a jet. It was completely burnt. No cargo was found. Searches were conducted in the area, whereas fuel was found along with some lights. An investigation is being carried out. Investigation continues. Searches continue. And so far, no one has been found or no type of cargo has been found.
After the break, Belize City businessmen's 3 vehicles go up in flames. Stay with us. 3 vehicles with a total value of $475,000 were set on fire Sunday morning at around 5, just after businessman 75-year-old Bob Hachandani arrived home on Newton Barracks on the seaside in Belize City near Sandlighters Promenade. 3 men arrived by boat and used an accelerant to set on fire a 2022 black Cadillac Escalade and a 2023 gray Audi Q7, both owned by Bob Hachandani, and a brown Chevy Silverado owned by 43-year-old Sanjay Hachandani. One of the culprits was caught on surveillance footage. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero told the media that police have that suspect in custody and are seeking additional persons.
Upon the arrival, they saw 3 vehicles engulfed in flames, an Escalade, an Audi, and a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. The fire department was called and the fire was extinguished. An investigation was carried out. It revealed that these 3 vehicles had been parked there from the night, and investigation showed that 3 persons came to the poured flammable substance on the vehicles and lit them on fire. We have 1 person in custody in regards to this investigation.
Any motive?
We have not established any motive at this time. The investigation continues.
Is the suspect cooperating?
I cannot say at this time. He was brought into custody last night, and then follow-up work is being done at this time.
Do police know if he has any relation or connection to the men who own the vehicles?
Not that I know of, no.
Do you know the value of the vehicles?
Okay, one is valued at $250,000, the other one at $150,000, and one at $75,000.
And do police have like other names of suspects that they know?
Yes, we are looking for other persons. We just have 1 of them in custody so far.
The other persons that they show on the surveillance footage?
I will not go into details with that. I know we are looking for other persons.
Can you confirm that they arrived and fled from the scene in a boat?
Yes, I can confirm they came in a boat, lit the vehicles on fire, and then they left on the boat.
When asked, the commandant of the Belize Coast Guard, Rear Admiral Elton Bennett, pushed back on the idea that the security force needs reinforcement in the south after the incursion of a Guatemalan naval vessel in our waters.
Negative. Our forward operating base is well manned. They performed very well in that specific operation. I applaud them for being able to recognize that vessel from a distance and got out there and perform our national defense duties to get that vessel out of Belizean waters. So that was very well done. To ask if we will improve or increase operations would imply that we are not at the level of where we should be, and I can tell you that our continuous at-sea presence at that location and beyond, as far south as the Corona Reef, is the reason why we are so vigilant in identifying those threats that come across into our sea spaces. So we are performing well at Hunting Key and elsewhere as well.
The Minister of National Defense, Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., was also asked to weigh in on the incursion.
Firstly, I think gunboat is an outdated term. Now that is something from World War II. So I don't know if the Guatemalans have a gunboat, no, but it wasn't a gunboat out there. It was a hydrography boat. And my thoughts on it, as I had mentioned in the speech, that our sailors, our seamen, whenever they see these threats and their incursions into our territorial waters, they go out and they meet it and they diffuse it. So those are my thoughts. And I promise you that as long as these, whenever these things would occur, our seamen and the Coast Guard will be there to diffuse the situation anytime.
How skilled are they in de-escalating? Because we know if it escalates anymore and anybody gets jumpy and triggers start pull, it will look bad. It'll be bad for Belize.
I mean, I have all the faith in our seamen now. I mean, under the able leadership of Admiral Bennett, I mean, they're professionally trained, you know, so they don't go out there like in any necessarily aggressive manner. They go out there firm. They advise them professionally. You're in Belizean waters and kindly leave, and eventually the situation is resolved. If you notice, every time we've managed to resolve it.
In sports news, Clinton Polo Lightburn star basketball player and founder of the Future Shock Basketball Initiative, continues to reap success. His third generation of Future Shock basketballers won first place in 2 categories in the recently held Copa Caribe in Chetumal, Quintana Roo. They won in the under 19 and under 22 categories. The tournament, with over 75 teams and over 1,000 players, took place from December 13th to the 15th. We caught up with the team players celebrating on their return and spoke with a few.
Since I was 11 years old, I started to play basketball.
What was it like to win?
Sticking together on the court, sticking to the game plan and executing in the end to win. It was really fun.
How many teams did you go up against to win?
I would say about 5 or 6 teams, and it was really competitive. Really competitive. It wasn't easy. Well, we've all known each other for a long while, from since we was small. We've known each other, so the brotherhood has always been there. So when it's time to come together, it's easy for us. The connection is already there. Well, my goal is to one day get the opportunity to play outside of the country in the USA. So I'm just continuing to stay focused and work hard every day, and hopefully my dreams will come true one day.
I've been participating in other tournaments, but this is my first one with the guys.
Okay. How does it feel to have won?
We feel good. Just feel good.
Have you been a winning player?
All the time. No one I like lose. Like it. I like feel once like it.
Were there any challenges at all dealing with these outside competitors?
They're small, so it's like they're easy to get the ball for you or steal the ball. But the most challenge I had was just getting to know the guys and how we play, and we had to adjust. Our first game like least sloppy, but in the second and the rest of the game when we get it and when we gone off after that.
What would you say was the most challenging thing for you participating in this tournament in Mexico?
The first game, adjusting to the crowd.
To the crowd?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of the size, like not what you're used to?
The noise.
The noise?
Only the first game.
The first game, and after that, that was it?
Yes,
You're good?
Yes, ma'am.
That was it? Nothing else that you found to be challenging?
Nothing really. Nothing else.
I'm actually grateful. I extend my gratitude to Mr. Flip, Mr. Polo, and the entire team for just welcoming me with. I just like fell in. No problem.
And how long have you been playing basketball?
My entire life, I would say. Basketball. I'm pretty sure you have heard the slogan. Ball is life. Ball is life. Ball is life.
So are there people in your family who play sports?
No, not really. It's not genetic.
How did you
not
get
genetic.
into it?
To be honest,
From school?
Primary school. One day, I was just playing at primary school, and I just fell in love with the game. And from that day, I didn't turn back.
And you won with
I
your
won.
team.
Yeah.
How was that?
Unforgettable. Definitely unforgettable. Man.
You've won before other.
Sure, I've won other tournaments of stuff before, but this first time going out, the result was perfect, man.
And so you want to keep going back, and you'll get the opportunity to
Sure,
keep going back.
Of course, this is just the beginning.
The tournament was organized by the Chetumal Club Delphines, which has been inviting Future Shock to compete for several years now. Here is Pulla Lightburn, who was also recognized by the team. They described him as a legendary player, coach, and promoter of the sport.
I've been playing against this club for over 4 decades. I actually played with them in a tournament in Mexico and coached them. And so because of that, and also I've been taking teams, my Future Shock basketball teams to Mexico. As a matter of fact, this generation that have been around for the last 8-9 years, they're actually 66-0 in Mexico within their age group. They have won 66 games and lost none. We're undefeated, we're a legend out there.
Wow.
Yeah, so when people hear Future Shock, the opponent usually is in a state of fear, and the fans are in a state of glee because they know they're going to see a show. They want us to come back and participate in a tournament they're having in February, a couple hours from Chetumal, and they want us to also bring a Libre.
Talk to me about this crop of men and young men that you have in terms of cohesion and unity and making sure that they are going to be the champions?
But actually, I've been dealing with most of these guys since they were in primary school, and now some of them are in university in their junior years, and they've been around me for like 8-9 years. So these guys have their PhD in basketball. All right, they know over 24 different offenses, over a dozen different defenses. They can think the game. Everybody that watch them play say they have a high IQ.
The Future Shock teams are now being sponsored by Portofino Resort in San Pedro. The proprietor adopted the team when Pulo was having difficulties sourcing the funds to keep the initiative alive. Last year, around this time, the country was grappling with a shortage of plantation white sugar. The shortage of the locally produced sugar was blamed on the contraband of the product into Mexico and Guatemala, where a pound fetches about 3 times the price in Belize. The government worked along with the producer, Belize Sugar Industries, to bring the matter under control, and after several measures were put in place and follow-up done, it appears something worked. We spoke with Controller of Supplies, Lennox Nicholson.
I have not received any significant reports of any issue with regarding the supply of sugar, but what I can tell you is that my office has had significant communication with Belize Sugar Industries. They have engaged my office on several occasions where we can exchange notes, and I want to be very careful the extent to which I reveal certain things. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that there has been a degree of communication and cooperation between my office and personnel at Belize Sugar Industries, because we recognize that at the end of the day, what we want is to ensure that the population has access to product. So we do communicate on certain matters having to do with the local supply of sugar, and so far I have not seen any major situation where we are unable to find product on the market at this time.
Which means that
will continue.
Which means that the measures that were taken this year are working, and the pressure that was put.
That may well be the case, and as well, like I mentioned to you, I think good things happen when agencies cooperate. No, when you have open lines of communication between private sector entities who have their role to play and regulatory authorities who also have their role to play, I think the public is best served.
Yes.
With that model.
Yes.
And so from my office and with the people at BSI, we do engage quite often when the interest of the people who all of us seek to serve is at stake, no?
In other sugar news, the northern sugar crop season for 2024 to 2025 is set to begin on December 27th. Originally, the parties had hoped for an earlier start on December 9th. The miller had proposed a December 16th start. However, due to different challenges, including rains, the condition of the sugar rows and fields, as well as cane quality and fusarium disease, the farmers asked for the later date. This year, there are no other complicating factors hindering the start of the crop, as the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and the miller are working under the 2-year interim commercial agreement that was signed on January 8th this year. After the break, a judge advises UDP to get mediation. Stay tuned. High Court Justice Tawanda Honduras has advised Honorable Moses Shine Barrow and Honorable Tracy Panton, the parties in the internal United Democratic Party dispute, to seek mediation. The judge cites two reasons: the peculiar nature of the dispute, but also because attorneys for the parties are unavailable for February and part of March. As such, Justice Tawanda has set March 31st for a one-day trial. He has outlined all the dates by when the parties must make their submissions before then. It is rumored that Prime Minister John Briceño intends to call early elections, and the most prominent date is sometime in March. Justice Honduras, in his order dated today, states that the matter could have likely been concluded earlier than the timeline set if the attorneys had been available. Justice Honduras informs the parties that if they prefer to seek mediation through a court-facilitated mediated program, they shall write the court by January 6, 2025. The case of Dr. Desmond Arzu, a radiologist who was accused of sexual assault by a patient, will resume in the magistrate court on January 2nd. His trial was to continue Friday, but the matter had been adjourned as DPP Cheryl Lynn Vidal was taken up with a matter in the High Court. Notably, Arzu's attorneys, including Arthur Saldivar, are asking that the complainant appear in person instead of virtually for cross-examination. The senior magistrate will decide on this once the case resumes in January. The trial started in July this year in Dangriga, but was moved to Belize City. Dr. Arzu was charged on May 12, 2024, after the patient reported that he touched her inappropriately during an abdominal ultrasound. He has been out on bail. In more court news, another man who is now out on bail is 34-year-old Dane Percival Neal, a construction worker of Placentia who was accused of the rape of a 13-year-old girl. Neal was charged at the start of December after a relative of the alleged victim called the attention of police to investigate Neal. Police are asking for the public's assistance in locating 63-year-old Sandy Walford Charrington, a Belizean fisherman of Mullins River Village, Stan Creek. He was last seen on Saturday, December 15th. He is of Creole descent, slim-built, and stands 5 feet 5 inches in height. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you can contact the nearest police station or call Crime Stoppers at 922. A man was arrested and charged on Friday, December 20th for being the member of a gang. He is 42-year-old Belizean, self-employed of the Cayo District, Kenyan Giovanni Lewis, also known as Gas. And a new scheduled bus run along the Coastal Plains Highway debuted at 4:30 a.m. today. The run was announced by the Ministry of Transport and originates in Santa Cruz, Stan Creek. It connects Dangriga, Mullins River, Gales Point, La Democracia, and ends in Belize City. The section of the run between La Democracia and Belize City is considered express service with regular service in place for the rest of the run. The return run leaves the Belize City terminal at 3 p.m. and arrives in Santa Cruz at roughly 6:15 p.m. The distance of the route is being about 92 miles. The buses are being operated by a new company, Almas, out of Gales Point. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.